Hi, and welcome to 5 Minute Book Digest, where we break down insightful books into bite sized takeaways. I'm your host, Oliver, your guide to today's discussion. And on this episode, we are going to discuss Atomic Habits by James Clear. So, what is Atomic Habits? Atomic Habits is a self help book by the author James Clear that provides a comprehensive guide on how to change your habits and get 1% better every day. The book is based on a framework called the Four Laws of Behavior Change, which teaches readers a simple set of rules for creating good habits and breaking bad ones. The book emphasizes the importance of small habits and how they can make a big difference in the long run. Clear argues that improving by 1% each day can lead to significant improvements over time. He also suggests that focusing on systems rather than goals is the key to building good habits and breaking new ones. The book it is divided into four parts, each of which focuses on one of the four laws of behavior change. So, part one is the discussion on the importance of making habits obvious. Part two, it focuses on making them attractive. Part three is about making habits easy. And finally, part four is about making them satisfying so you will continue to do them. So, throughout the book, Clear provides practical tips and advice on how to apply these insights into your life. He also shares some stories of people who have transformed their lives by changing their habits. So, the key takeaway from this book lies in the concept of atomic habits, emphasizing the compound effect of tiny changes. So, as always on the podcast, let's dive into the top lessons distilled from Claire's wisdom and how you can implement these into your own life starting today. So, the first lesson, I think, is habit stacking. So, by attaching a new habit to an existing routine, you can make it more likely to stick. It's like building upon the foundation of habits you already have in place. So, for example, listening to an audio book whilst you are doing the dishes would be an example of a habit stack. The second lesson or takeaway is to make habits obvious. So James Clear, he stresses in the book the importance of creating visible cues to prompt desired actions, like laying out your workout clothes or placing a book on your desk to encourage reading. So, lesson three is to start small with the 2 minute rule. So, if you are looking to initiate a new habit by committing to just 2 minutes of it, this approach will remove the intimidation factor that makes starting easy, which will make starting easier. For example, lifting clothes or putting the dishes into the dishwasher for just 2 minutes will mean that you don't need to spend 30, 60 minutes at the end of the week. So now let's delve into the more transformative insights from the book. So lesson four is the environmental design. So modifying your surroundings to support good habits and discourage bad ones. So optimize your environment will help to significantly impact the habit formation. So for example, if you want to read more, place a book where your TV remote would normally be, which will give you that visual cue. Lesson five is temptation bundling. So pair an activity that you enjoy with one that you wish to do more of. So this technique merges pleasure with productivity, making habits more enticing. So, for example, if you want to listen to more audiobooks or educate yourself more, perhaps you can listen to audiobooks whilst exercising. Lesson six is to implement intentions. So create specific plans for when and where you'll execute a habit. Being detailed enhances the likelihood of going through with a habit. So, for example, you could say that at 7 a.m. in the morning, 4 days a week, on a Monday, a Wednesday, a Friday, and a Sunday, I'm going to be in the garage at 7 a.m. and I'm going to exercise. Lesson 7 is to measure your progress. So, tracking habits regularly keeps you accountable and motivated. It's a powerful tool to keep on track and see your improvements. And lesson 8 is to focus on identity. So, shape habits around the person you want to become. Identify as that person to reinforce your commitment. So, for example, you want to be a writer. Your goal is not to write a book, your goal is to become a writer. So, your identity would become the type of person who writes 1,000 words every day. The system is then to write them 1,000 words every day. And over time, then you will hopefully be able to publish a book and become a confirmed writer. So lesson 9, it is consistency over perfection. So prioritize consistency in habit formation rather than aiming for flawless execution each time. Remember, it's a long-term commitment to your goals. And finally, lesson 10, that is about continuous improvement. So remember that even the small changes compounded over time will lead to remarkable transformations. So embrace this philosophy of continuous improvement. So, for example, if you want to build the quads or your buttocks, shape them, you could maybe start with 5 air squats today, and then maybe on Wednesday or 2 days time you'll up that to 10, and in a very, very short period of time you could be doing 20 sessions, where at the moment you may not be able to do 5. So Atomic Habits in summary is by James Clear. It's a treasure trove of actionable strategies for habit formation, and these insights can empower us to make profound changes in our lives through simple and consistent changes. So that brings an end to the podcast. So thank you for joining me on today's 5-minute book digest. So until next time, I'm Oliver signing off. And remember, it's the small habits that lead to big changes in our lives.